at the moment at the CNIL with the title of co-regulation, economic co-regulation, director for project of co-regulation. Of course, I'm a strong believer of this working together, not being the only one to deal with this problem of applying law on data protection. And in co-regulation, perhaps to be not an academic that I am not, but just to say what and how we do that in practice at the CNIL, between three types of co-regulation. You can co-regulate by several actors, or using several tools, or building an hybrid co-regulation. And so it's what we are practicing at the CNIL, because we are expanding, and I mean that is possible for any GPA, as the certification organism are third parties, trust parties we work with, and we rely on them to work on those mechanisms of certification. And we are quite convinced that certification mechanisms and code of conduct have to be promoted. Anyway, the GDPR tells that explicitly. And what is quite interesting is to see that in the Act on the Artificial Intelligence, you have all these tools again. And as you said, you have mechanism of certification, but also code of conduct and code of practice. And I agree with this lack of definition, and it explains too the misconfidence of consumers, because there were some scandals about seals not meaning anything, just auto-proclamation by the company, and you can't rely on that. So now to go to what we believe are the strong benefits of this tool of confidence, we see that for benefits of certification for data subjects, but also business development, and also for the regulator that we are. And to begin with the regulator, the certification is very linked to the privacy by design. And we were speaking about that this morning, about the privacy by design, integrating the fundamental rights from the beginning. So we know that the rights of data subjects are already put from the beginning in the mechanisms of certification. So for us, that's quite promising to avoid infringement to the law and to avoid complaints. So this mechanism is based on prevention rather than sanction. So that is facilitating the role of enforcement of the regulator. And also, an interesting aspect for the supervisor that we are is to participate to the acculturation of the ecosystem. Because you said that it's technical, not very clear. You need, and for regulators, and it explains why it is so long, that is a new activity. We are not used of doing and elaborate some standards on mechanisms of certification. Same thing with the normalization, and we have a specific engineer in the committee for the ISO norms, which are quite important, and with intelligence artificial. And for the data subject, of course, that is very important too, because that's a proof of trust, that's a transparency on the market, and they ask for something quite true, reliable, and of course for the controllers and the business, that's having harmonized standards, the development of new offers. And what was said recently by the biggest companies in France is that the certification is a very good tool to avoid the fragmentation of the internal market in Europe, having such different legal approach. So that's really very important to encourage the development of secured solutions across Europe. So certification at the European level is really very beneficial to everybody.